is 1999, a legendary name, synonymous with unparalleled precision and engineering excellence, one that armed empires and defined eras, finally surrendered. Mauser, the very name that once evoked images of the C96 broom handle, the Gewehr 98, and the iconic Luger pistol, though a complex historical association, quietly dismantled its small arms division. It was not a grand defeat on the battlefield, but a slow, agonizing capitulation to market forces, a profound loss of identity that saw it reduced to merely a brand name, traded like a commodity.
But the seeds of this tragic decline were sown years earlier, in a desperate, almost pathetic attempt to stay relevant. At the heart of this struggle, a testament to a company adrift, lies a pistol often misunderstood, frequently mislabeled, and ultimately a forgotten footnote in firearms history, the Mauser Model 90 DA. It wears the Mauser name, bears its proud logo, yet it is neither truly a Mauser, nor the double-action Browning high-power many believed it to be.
Instead, it is a Frankenstein's monster of necessity, a Hungarian pistol masquerading as German engineering, a silent witness to the twilight of a titan. For centuries, the name Mauser stood as an unshakable pillar in the world of firearms. From the revolutionary bolt-action rifles that equipped countless armies across 2 world wars, to the innovative pistols that redefined self-defense and military sidearms, Mauser was synonymous with reliability, robustness, and German ingenuity.
The very sound of the name invoked a sense of heritage, a deep well of engineering prowess that shaped history itself. But by the 1980s and early 1990s, the once indomitable giant had lost its way. The post-war landscape, the shifting geopolitical climate, and the relentless march of technological innovation had left Mauser struggling to find its footing. The firearms market was undergoing a radical transformation.
The era of all-steel, single-action pistols was slowly giving way to lighter, higher capacity, often polymer-framed double-action, single-action, or striker-fire designs. Companies like Glock were emerging with radical new approaches, while established players like Beretta and CZ were delivering modern DA/SA combat pistols that captured the attention of military and civilian markets alike. Mauser, however, found itself clinging to an outdated product line.
Their most recognizable pistol offerings, the P08 Luger and the Mauser HSC, while undeniably iconic and possessing a certain timeless appeal, were relics. The Luger, a marvel of toggle lock engineering, was expensive to produce, complex, and unsuited for mass production in a modern military context. The HSC, a compact blowback pistol, was elegant, but offered limited capacity and was simply not competitive against newer designs. There was no clear vision, no decisive strategy for the future.
The company lacked the internal capacity, or perhaps the will, to develop truly innovative new products that could compete in this rapidly evolving market. Instead of pioneering, they were desperately trying to catch up, and in their desperation, they resorted to a strategy that would ultimately accelerate their demise: rebranding. The idea was simple, if deeply flawed. Leverage the lingering prestige of the Mauser name by acquiring existing firearms from other manufacturers, stamping them with the famous Mauser logo, and hoping that brand recognition alone would drive sales.
They embarked on partnerships with various firms, most notably the Italian company Renato Gamba for revolvers, and then, crucially for our story, with FEG of Hungary for semi-automatic pistols. FEG, or Fehérgyár, was no stranger to producing reliable, if often derivative, firearms. Under Soviet influence during the Cold War, Hungarian arms manufacturing often focused on producing licensed copies or heavily inspired designs from other nations, particularly the Soviet bloc.
However, FEG also developed its own domestic designs, demonstrating a solid understanding of firearms engineering and manufacturing capabilities, often with an emphasis on cost-effectiveness. They were a prolific producer, known for their AK variants and a variety of pistols that often bore a striking resemblance to Western designs, particularly the Browning High Power. This made them an ideal, albeit ironic, partner for Mauser's last-ditch effort.
The arrangement was not clandestine. Mauser openly approached FEG, paid them to produce pistols, and applied their own branding for resale. It was a purely commercial transaction, a desperate gamble by Mauser that their illustrious name still held enough sway to move units, even if the underlying product wasn't their own creation. Between 1990 and 1995, this peculiar partnership yielded two distinct pistol models bearing the Mauser badge.
The first was the Mauser Model 80 SA, a direct, essentially unaltered copy of the venerable Browning High Power, manufactured by FEG. This pistol, while functionally sound and reliable in its own right, represented little innovation and directly competed with the original design, as well as countless other high-power clones already saturating the market. It was a largely forgettable offering, and its sales performance was dismal, quickly fading into obscurity.
But the second model, the Mauser Model 90DA, was a more intriguing and complex beast, a testament to FEG's own engineering aspirations and Mauser's convoluted attempts to offer a modern double-action pistol. This was not merely a copy, it was FEG's own P9R pistol, a design that represented a significant evolution of the high-power concept, integrating elements from another influential firearm, the Smith & Wesson Model 59. To truly understand the Mauser Model 90DA, we must first delve into the DNA of its progenitors.
The Browning High Power, designed by John Moses Browning and completed by Diodane Save, was a revolutionary single-action pistol. Introduced in 1935, it boasted an impressive 13-round double-stack magazine, far exceeding the capacity of its contemporaries. Its ergonomic grip, robust all-steel construction, and superb balance made it an instant classic, widely adopted by militaries and law enforcement agencies around the globe.
Its locking system, a tilting barrel with a camming lug that interfaces with a lug in the frame, was elegant and reliable, becoming a benchmark for countless future pistol designs. The high power's trigger mechanism, a simple single-action system, connected directly to a sear that released the hammer, offering a crisp and predictable pull crucial for accuracy. It was a pistol designed for a specific era and a particular combat doctrine, carried cocked and locked, ready for immediate single-action fire.
However, by the 1970s and 80s, the demand for double-action, single-action DASA pistols grew exponentially. The ability to carry a pistol with a round in the chamber and the hammer down, offering a long, heavy first trigger pull for safety, followed by lighter, crisper single-action pulls for subsequent shots, became highly desirable. This trend was largely spearheaded in the US by the Smith & Wesson Model 39, and, more significantly, its high-capacity successor, the Model 59.
The SMW Model 59 was one of the first successful double-stack 9mm DASA pistols in the American market, influencing a generation of designers. It too utilized a tilting barrel locking system, but its method of unlocking differed subtly from the high power. Instead of a lug on the barrel engaging a frame lug, the SMW Model 59 employed a distinct camming system, a ramp or lug on the barrel, interacting with a fixed frame rail to pull the barrel down and out of lock as the slide recoiled.
This difference, though seemingly minor, had significant implications for parts interchangeability and overall design. FEG, observing these trends, embarked on its own ambitious project in 1983 to create a double-action pistol that retained the familiarity and ergonomic appeal of the high power, but with the modern DASA functionality. The result was the P9R. It was a masterclass in blending existing, proven technologies.
Visually, the P9R, and subsequently the Mauser Model 90DA, was almost indistinguishable from a high power at a glance. The slide profile was virtually identical, a testament to FEG's manufacturing strategy of leveraging existing tooling wherever possible to cut costs and streamline production. This deliberate visual mimicry often led to the misconception that it was simply a double-action high power.
But beneath that familiar exterior lay a fundamentally different mechanism, a sophisticated fusion of ideas. Let's dissect the Mauser Model 90DA, comparing it point by point to its apparent inspiration, the Browning high power, and revealing its hidden Smith & Wesson DNA. Firstly, the most obvious distinction, as its name implies, is the double-action firing mechanism. On a high power, the hammer must be cocked manually or by the slide cycling to fire.
The Mauser 90DA, like the S&W Model 59, allows for a long, heavy pull of the trigger to both cock and release the hammer for the first shot, followed by subsequent single-action shots as the slide cycles. This DASA functionality was a key differentiator in the market, offering a perceived safety advantage for carrying a loaded pistol. But this difference in action required a complete redesign of the internal trigger mechanism.
In a high power, a connector lever inside the slide transfers trigger pull to the sear, which then releases the hammer. This intricate linkage travels up into the slide, over the magazine, and down to the sear. In contrast, the Mauser 90DA, taking a page from the S&W playbook, utilizes a stirrup-style trigger bar that wraps around the magazine well, directly pulling the sear backward when the trigger is depressed.
This elegant solution simplified the mechanism and eliminated the need for the high power's trigger connector in the slide, which is notably absent in the Mauser 90DA. The implications are clear. None of the trigger group components are interchangeable with a high power. Next, consider the safety and decocking features. The Browning high power features a frame-mounted thumb safety, allowing the pistol to be carried cocked and locked, hammer cocked, safety engaged.
The Mauser 90DA, however, sports a slide-mounted safety lever that doubles as a decocker. Engaging this lever not only places the pistol on safe, but also safely drops the hammer without firing a round. This prevents the pistol from being carried in a cocked and locked condition, fundamentally altering its operational philosophy.
While common on many modern DASA pistols, it represents a significant departure from the high power's manual of arms. Perhaps the most crucial, yet often overlooked, difference lies in the barrel's locking and unlocking mechanism. While both pistols employ a tilting barrel system, the way the barrel unlocks from the slide during recoil is distinct.
The Browning high power uses its signature camming lug, a hook-like protrusion on the barrel that engages a hardened lug machined into the frame. As the slide and barrel recoil together for a short distance, this camming lug pulls the barrel down, disengaging it from the slide, allowing the slide to continue its rearward travel to extract and eject the spent casing. The Mauser 90DA, however, abandons this system in favor of the Smith & Wesson Model 59's approach. Here, a distinct camming surface, or lug, on the barrel interacts with a pair of fixed frame rails.
As the slide and barrel move rearward, this cam engages the frame rails, forcing the barrel downwards. This seemingly subtle difference means that a Browning high power barrel will absolutely not fit or function correctly in a Mauser Model 90DA, and vice versa. The interaction points are fundamentally different, rendering them incompatible.
Even the magazines, while superficially similar and deceptively close in appearance to a high-power magazine, are not interchangeable. The Mauser 90DA uses a 15-round magazine that is slightly taller than a standard 13-round high-power magazine. Crucially, the magazine locking notches, which secure the magazine within the frame, are positioned differently relative to the feed lips.
If one attempts to insert a high-power magazine into a Mauser 90DA, it will lock in place, but it sits too low in the magazine well for the cartridges to reliably feed into the chamber. Conversely, a Mauser 90DA magazine, due to its increased height, will jam against the ejector of a high power and fail to seat and lock into place. This intentional non-interchangeability, likely a consequence of adapting existing FEG designs, added another layer of complexity for users and distributors, further separating it from its perceived high-power lineage.
Beyond the major functional differences, smaller yet telling details revealed the Mauser 90DA's distinct identity. The recoil spring assembly, for instance, exhibits differences in how it seats and locks into the barrel, further cementing the non-interchangeability of parts. The overall ergonomics, while retaining the high power's general silhouette, lean more towards the Smith & Wesson-y feel, particularly in the grip, reflecting the blend of influences.
Even details like the spur hammer, while aesthetically similar to some high-power variants, were part of FEG's design choices. The sights, a simple notch and post, were windage adjustable by drifting, a common feature, but again implemented within the FEG design framework. The Mauser Model 90DA, therefore, was a sophisticated amalgamation. The general form factor and familiarity of the Browning high power married to the double-action firing mechanism and barrel unlocking system of the Smith & Wesson Model 59, all executed with Hungarian engineering from FEG.
It was a perfectly competent, reliable pistol in its own right, offering a modern DA/SA option with a respectable capacity. Yet it found itself caught in an unfortunate crossfire. Between 1990 and 1995, FEG produced approximately 26,000 units of the Mauser Model 90DA, along with an additional 1,200 compact versions, featuring a slightly shorter slide. Mauser's original plan was to market and sell these pistols primarily in Europe, leveraging their brand name to penetrate a market that was increasingly demanding double-action designs.
However, this strategy proved to be a catastrophic miscalculation. The Mauser name, though historically revered, no longer held the same cachet or commanded the consumer trust for these rebranded firearms. European buyers, perhaps more discerning or simply more aware of the actual origins of the pistols, were not flocking to purchase them.
By the end of 1995, a staggering 18,000 units of the Mauser Model 90DA remained unsold in Mauser's inventory, a colossal failure for a production run of 26,000. This represented a substantial financial drain and a clear indicator that the rebranding strategy was not working. What do you do when you are a venerable German arms manufacturer with an enormous surplus of rebranded Hungarian pistols that won't sell in Europe? You look across the Atlantic.
The United States commercial firearms market has always been unique, vast, diverse, and with an insatiable appetite for firearms, often including surplus or economically priced options. American importers, particularly large players like Century International Arms, specialized in bringing in anything that had a trigger and went bang, often at very competitive prices.